I'm into alpha energy. Like,
Mm-hmm.
beta guys gross me out. I've dated a few. I was like, this is gross. And I heard you say the word man of the house. So, with that being said, one, what does man of the house mean to you? And two, what does it mean to you, and do you use it in your house? Is that y'all's philosophy?
I just had spewed it out of my mouth very nonchalantly. And the fact that you kind of hung on to it was interesting, because once we started talking about it, I was like, I feel like people have quite a bit of a range of like perspectives on terminology these days. Let me back up. I would say we were in a religious environment. Christian man is the leader of the house. Wife, you submit to the man, and you have very, very distinctive male and female roles. I deviated from that belief quite a bit, and it's ironic now because I'm not all the way back by any means, but I'm kind of like somewhere in the middle of, I don't want to be the leader of the house, even though I am a control freak. Totally admit that. So it's hard for me to let go, but now that I'm a mother, and I just feel like in a different stage of my life where I want to like pull back a little bit, relax, be a little more softer, be a little more feminine. And so I like that Kenny and I's relationship, he is the man of the house, I'm using air quotes, and he can like kind of take the lead. He's going to be the protector, and he can fill the more masculine role, even though he has a little bit of feminine in him, and I can fill the more feminine role even though I have a little bit of masculine in me.
Has something changed? So you talked about like being like trying to be softer. Is there something that has notably changed, or for you is it just more of like your own attitude shift?
Gradually just feeling the sense of ease in our marriage and understanding that I don't have to be on all the time. Like, all right, he's got us. Like, he's the man. I prefer you drive. I prefer you make some decisions. Like, I have opinions, but I've just kind of fallen back into that. And then becoming a mom on top of that, it's just like I want to kind of be more feminine and soft and like be in my motherly role and wife mode. I guess it also coincided with getting married. But it's not like, I'm in the kitchen doing the dishes and you're out there in the doing all the yard work. That's definitely not how our relationship works. So
what you're describing is just you letting your guard down and being vulnerable.
In this culture, there's a lot of women that are like, I'm independent. I don't need no man. I got my money. Don't need you. Like in my job, I have to be more in my masculine. So when I get home, when we're together, and because of the ease of our relationship and becoming more vulnerable, I think I've been like, okay, I don't have to be so masculine, like with this masculine energy all the time. I can actually be more feminine to him, to our baby. So I think it's both, When I think masculine, I think of corporate America, decision making, have to be on, have to be firm, I have to take control, I have to be the one to do these things, I have to protect, I have to guide, I have to make decisions, and I have to lead. Natural femininity as a woman, you're able to be softer and like I don't have to be so hard and rough around the edges. I can relax, I can take care of my family, I can slow down, I can be more present, and I don't have to worry about taking the lead or guiding us. I can just kind of relax and do all the new things that I have on my plate, like being a mom.
And then I did a lot of reflection on myself of why that phrase is so jarring to me. For me, it's because just those words, I've been in situations in my family of origin where that term was weaponized. And so it's an immediate adverse reaction for me. It is just something that those words will never come out of my mouth. Even though I'm not disagreeing with you in the way that you're describing y'all's dynamic, it was funny. I'm like, I don't think I ever, and that could change. And I also haven't had a kid. Ooh, this is definitely a difference in the way that we look at things, and it's definitely a good way to highlight us having sort of coming from two different points. And this man of the house concept to me always felt like I'm presumed right as the guy, and as a woman I have to overcome that burden to then equal the playing field. I think I've just lived with a chip on my shoulder for a long time, healthy or not.
I believe that men and women should be treated equally. Obviously, that's the core foundation of that whole, movement, if you want to call it that. I appreciate our differences. I just feel the comfort and security with him that I can let him lead with certain things.
Because I definitely went through a phase where I got really into feminist literature, probably got a little bit angry, and I didn't want to stay in that space. But I remember so distinctly needing that time to find my voice and to take up space. I almost had to do too much to recalibrate and figure out what I was comfortable with. And it is funny because there was a part of me that was like, okay, the anger part, that doesn't serve me. Knowledge grew and my life experience grew. I was also able to parse out more of the nuance to say feminism is giving people the right to choose how they interact with people and how they express themselves. It's not me being annoyed with men for certain things. So it's being asked to have a seat at the table, but it's also saying if the seat at the table that you want is your kitchen table, that's also fine. It doesn't
exactly.
You don't have to sit on a board to be a woman and to have strength and to be strong. And then learning also that strength can be being comfortable in being vulnerable and in trusting somebody. Strength doesn't have to look loud and bossy and abrasive. Healed and gone through therapy, I've been willing to soften and to relax into trusting him and to be vulnerable. But I know him, and I know that he feels this responsibility as the guy in our marriage to provide and to make money and to establish security. And I feel I'm always beating the drum of I appreciate that and I'm not threatened by your success and I want to support it at every turn. But it's also not only your job. But fighting for him to let me to also lean on me. We can lean on each other, and there's going to be times in our relationship where I need him to take the helm because I'm overwhelmed, and there'll be times where he needs me to step in. But I think with him, if I told him you're the man of the house, he would shoulder more responsibility than he already needs to. I respect you and I support you. I have no problem telling him I need you, I rely on you. And those all feel to me like a softening and a vulnerability that I didn't know how to have before. And we're working in unity and we're working in tandem. And so we're not both fighting to be the leaders. We can give and take and we can co-lead, and then one can step back and we can recognize this might be your area of expertise versus this is mine.
I heard something that someone said marriage is not 50-50. It's sometimes 80-20 and it's sometimes 60-40. I think letting your guard down and having respect